So I'm in Victoria Marina, St Peter Port, Guernsey. I'm keen to go to anchor, so I head around to Herm Island. Beautiful little island, not feeling the best though. Anyway, from there I head into Beaucette Marina. It's amazing, but watch out the entrance. Alright, well I've got to share this with you. I'm feeling a bit poorly at the moment. Gary's gone. And I've got a little bit of a bug, I think, just sore throat. So yeah, I'm dying. Anyway, here I am still in Guernsey, and look, unbelievable the people you meet. So one of the viewers, his name's Kevin, neat guy. He just stopped his car when Gary and I walked to the top of the pontoon one day, and he said, "G'day, Mark, how are you? I've been following you." And anyway, so I went back to him on messages on YouTube because he's been making a couple of comments and keeping in touch. And I asked him if there was somewhere where I could try and get a solution for pulling the impellers out of the boat. Anyway, he came down to the boat and I gave him this. And one of the other viewers on the channel has come up with a way of where you put effectively a thread into there. It's got a thread in it, so you put a bolt in there, you drill it out, tap it, and put a longer one in, and when the longer one goes in, it pushes on the sleeve behind it as soon as it's in there, and then it starts pulling the impeller out. So he came and took this away. Well, unbelievable. This morning, he comes back with this. There is the nut look, and the nut goes into there, like that. So that goes into the impeller, and the impeller is sitting completely inside the seawater pump. And then you put this in, like that. And the minute this bolt gets down to about here, it starts putting pressure on the mounting behind it. And the more you screw it in, it pulls the impeller out. Now, how amazing is that? But what is even more amazing is this is not a standard thread. So inside this impeller is not BSP, and he did mention another type of thread, so I'm not very mechanically minded, as you all know. That is in there. And it turns out, obviously this is a Johnson pump, it's not a John Deere pump, but it's a standard fitting that Volvo Penta use. So he went to about 3 different places and finally found somewhere that had these bits. And what he said was, the guy that gave this bit to him said you need to go and get a stainless steel fitting because it came with a galvanized fitting or soft or just steel fitting. So he went off and he got me this as well, and that all fits in there. And believe it or not, €9. Anyway, I said, come out, let's catch up, I'll get some cash and sort you out. He said, no mate, no. He said, just it's on Guernsey. It's on Guernsey. And he said, Marine and General Engineers are who had it. So big shout out to Marine and General Engineers in Guernsey. And they're at the Samson Harbour, just a little bit down the road, which is where I'll be going to get my fuel. So I'm going to pop in there and tell them what wonderful people they are. So when you think about it, for the issues I've got in that starboard engine, you couldn't get simpler than that. So I'm going to try it on the port engine, even though we've replaced it, just to try the whole system out. And then I reckon I could actually lean over there and then just feed that bit in, because I can get the plate off. And then I can just put this in, and it's pretty simple to pull it out. Now, putting it back may not be easy, but I think what I'm going to do is mount a mirror on the wall of the boat on that side. A reasonable size mirror, even Perspex or something, a mirror made out of Perspex, so that I can actually see what I'm doing in there. But isn't that cool? So Marine and General Engineers, big shout out. Thanks, Kevin. I just gobsmacked by the people I'm meeting on this journey. Amazing. Amazing. So here's the marina at St Peter's. You can see how the tide's way out now. About 8 metre walls there down to the water. We're at low tide at the moment. I'm just going to take you over here and show you what that looks like at the entrance to the marina. I mean, it works really well. So there it is down there. When the tide goes out, It only goes out to a point where it hits this little concrete wall across there, and that maintains the marina at enough of a depth to accept most yachts up to about 2.5 metres of keel. And then as the tide obviously comes in from out there, it floods the marina again. Only thing is, you do find that with the surging tide coming through from here, you do get quite a bit of roll in the marina, just simply from the massive amount of water that's coming in. So why they haven't actually installed some gates in here over the years, I don't know, because a lot of other places, particularly in France, well, and in the UK for that matter, they have gates so that they actually can isolate the marina, if they want to, completely from the open sea, which is far more pleasant for the boaties that are in there. Anyway, yeah, I'm here for another 3 days, still got this blooming cold, so yeah, I'm dying. And my plan is on Saturday, depending on the weather, there's a bit of a blow coming through this afternoon and tomorrow, so I'll see how it affects things, and the tide, whether the tides are dropping off a little bit. I'm going to head out and see if I can find an anchorage down the far end of the island. Otherwise I'm going to have 8 days here and basically won't have seen really anything of the coastline other than St. Peter's. So anyway, today I'm going to wander along to Sampson's Harbour, which is where we're going to refuel the boat, and we'll probably do that just before I go to England, because I want to go to England with an absolutely set RPM, get to the UK, top up with fuel with a known distance. I'll then absolutely know the fuel flow on the boat. Anyway, in to pay the bill for the marina. So see that up there, that gargoyle on the church wall, and this is the Albion cabin, which has been here since 1780. Well, that, between the two of them, is in the Guinness Book of Records for being the closest pub to a church. So check that out. So there you go, tide's right out, and there's a motor launch sitting on the dry, and you can see obviously the keels on the hard, and then out the side of the boat on either side they just have a bracket that plugs in, and it's got a support to the keel or to the hull, and then it goes down to the ground, so it's able to sit there on the dry. And then the yachts have double keels, and the yacht sits on the two keels and the rudder. Just so different. We really don't see anything like that back home. There must be places in New Zealand, down in Havelock and that, but generally speaking we're always in water. I mean, there's the classic, look at that. You've got a water line, you can see it along there, that comes up within about 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters of the top of this wall, and then when the tide's out, the entire bay dries up apart from a little bit of water amongst the rocks out there. But when this is full, it's within 2 meters of the top of this. Unbelievable volume of water. So check this out. Just going up onto a nice little garden area, which opens up onto a lookout spot. Now you might notice something about the shape of this lookout spot. So that's the view. They've fenced it all around to make it safe. See that shape? Well, it's that shape because this is a German pillbox, which you can see down there, that the island have kept. They've kept them all around Guernsey, Jersey. Here we are on top of it now. Classic construction, tons of concrete. And there you go, down to one of the openings. And built across the front just to make it look a bit nicer with local stone, granite. And you find all around the island the pillboxes are used for all sorts of different things. Like some have even been converted into homes because they, as you can imagine, have unbelievable seaside views. It's part of their heritage. They don't want to forget, so they keep them, and where possible try and get some of them to blend in with the natural landscape. Okay, that's the Rubis head office on Guernsey Island. Some people I'm getting the fuel off. I just wanted to go for a walk down here just to check out where I'm going. Apparently the currents and the tides, although next week's a low tide, well, they're not big tides I should say, neap tide that is, just to find out where I've got to go, what the process is, so I'm not sort of learning as I arrive on my own. So I have to head down here, turn right, don't go too far, otherwise I'm at the competition apparently, and there might be someone there, there might not be. Anyway, I'll go and have a look. Nothing like being prepared, eh? Well, I've just been into the chandlery shop, which is magic, and then I thought, oh, I need some lunch, so I've come here and got a hot roast pork and cranberry sauce roll for £4.95. Probably the worst coffee I've ever had made for me in my life, for £2.75, and it was made in literally 20 seconds. Not sure, but it was pretty awful, almost throwawayable. Anyway, at the chandlery, got some really good stuff. Got a, oh, here's my hot pork roll, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely. Got the bridle and snubber organised to be made, and big debate about nylon versus poly, but we went for poly in the end because apparently the nylon gets all stiff with the salt air, but anyway, we'll see. 10mm chain hook, and it all spliced up, so I've got the bridle made up so I can connect it basically from both sides, so that'll be magic. Got myself a 32 down to 16 connector for power, because more and more finding that the places we go to don't have 32mm, they only have 16, so I've got a 32 down to 16, and I've got myself a coarser brush for doing the decks on the boat when I'm cleaning. That'll come to a princely sum of £240. Somewhere along the way there was boat involved. Anyway, got my hot pork roll. So there you go, there is the tide just starting to come in. It's going across the concrete weir, and apparently they did have gates at one stage, but the maintenance was too high, and in the end it got too expensive, so they took the gates out. But yeah, there's high tide just starting to come in across the barrier now, so we'll start filling up. And it is time to take down the trusty dishcloth. We are no longer under quarantine. Customs lady yesterday said we could do that. On the website it's pretty clear you have to get approval to take it off, but she said, look, you know, it can just come off and then the Union Jack will go up. There we go, Union Jack proudly flies on Awanui, be up there for the rest of the summer. Okay, so here I am, first day out on my own. Beautiful spell of weather coming, so I'm going to head out of Guernsey Marina over to Herm Island. It's only 5 and a bit miles away, flat calm, no wind, so that's just perfect. Got the engine started. Take a little bit of getting used to being on my own again, I think, but yeah, I think it should work well. Anyway, away we go. Guernsey Marina, Awanui NZ, channel 80. good afternoon. Just leaving the berth and departing the marina. We'll catch up with you next week. Thanks so much. Awanui NZ, Channel 12. Yes, good afternoon, sir. Just departing the Guernsey Marina for Herm Island. Copy, thanks. Back next week. Catch you then. Entrance, we've got 3 green lights white underneath. That means we are clear to go. There's no doubt about it, Guernsey is a beautiful port. Fuel over here is less than half the price, so if you need a reasonable amount of fuel, obviously the French come over here, the English will come over here, and not only that, it's an absolutely beautiful place to visit, so why wouldn't you? Off we go. Great start. Got to pick a nice day to get back into it on your own. Possibly can't make it out there, but look at it, it's flat calm, and yet there is one heck of a current going. So the current direction at the moment is 036, and we're doing, look, nearly 9 knots. So we've gone from doing 6 to 9. You can see over here, I'll open up this door. You should be able to see that current over there. There's a marker on ground below very closely below the water. It's shown at low tide, but there's quite a current running through there. Probably 3 or 4 knots. So we're just going to duck off now to the left here and shoot through a gap into the bay that we're going to. Locals obviously know exactly where to go, because look at that. There's quite a big ferry boat ahead of us, and he just shot through there. Anyway, need to get back to it and concentrate. Amazing autumn evening here in behind Herm Island. Fog rolling in. It's just the perfect conditions for it. It's cooling off, bit of moisture in the air, and the fog's just coming in. Here's my washing out there, better bring that in, that'll get a bit damp otherwise, but I mean those rocks are only 200 metres away. There's a tiny wee rocky outcrop exactly where I'm pointing now. You can't see it at all. It's probably 200 metres away, maybe 300, but yeah, what amazing conditions. That's the thickest fog I've seen on the boat yet. We're nicely tucked in the bay, so feel pretty safe in here, and it promises for a still night if we've got fog. 27th of March. I'm over behind Herm Island. Felt a bit crook last night, bit chesty, pretty sore head. So I just decided to stay on the boat. I was going to go on to the island, but I might try and do that next week. Just didn't feel confident enough to that, how I was feeling. Anyway, there's a bit of weather going to blow up from tonight for a couple of days, and we're going into 9-metre tides. So what I've decided to do, I've made a booking and I'm heading over from the anchorage here in Herm Island. Beautiful little anchorage, but obviously you are exposed, so it'll probably be alright, because out there that's the direction the wind's coming from. Bit of protection, but with the big tide and everything, apparently it gets pretty sloppy. So what I'm going to do is just head around the northern end of the island, and we're going to go in to this point up here, which is something really special for you. It's a marina that has been accommodated in an old quarry that all got blown out and everything. Beaucette Marina. Seemed like really nice people there, great reviews. It's only 5 miles away, just over 5 there, look. So it's probably going to be less than an hour. They close at 5, so I want to get over there before then, because obviously I'm going on to the pier on my own. It's a very tight entrance, there are large tides, so I just want to be really careful. Now from a tidal point of view, there it is there. So if I leave now, I am going to be coming in at almost full tide. I'll call them on channel 80, so I'll just take their advice on whether I come in straight away or wait until we're at full tide and a bit more slack. There are buoys outside that I can tie on to if I want to, although on my own that might be a bit of a challenge, but I might just puddle around for a while. Anyway, good thing having the radio. There was a little bit of a forecast of fog today. It looks like there might be some in the distance, but it's got a bit windy now, about 12 knots, so don't think that'll be an issue. And the currents out here can be up to 5 knots, but they're going to be pushing from the port quarter, so it'll help me along a little bit. And it's just a good chance to see in the rising tide and with current and a little bit of wind just how it is. I can see out there, there you go, look, it's pretty good, so you know it's not going to be anything that's overly concerning, but I've just got to start working with these currents, working with the tides, getting a feel for what it's like, and then go from there. Anyway, engines are started, I've got the snubber off, I'll raise the anchor and we'll head off. Beaucette Marina, this is Motor Yacht Awanui NZ, channel 80, good afternoon.
Marina, sorry, could you confirm the name of your vessel, please?
Awanui NZ.
This is Beaucette Marina, sorry, I've got a job to hear you. Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Yeah, no problem. Vessel name is Awanui NZ.
Awanui is it?
Awanui NZ.
Yeah, sorry, could you, are you actually moored in Beaucette Marina?
Negative. We are 1 nautical mile to the east. We have a booking for this evening, and I'm a solo sailor, so request assistance for coming alongside starboard side 2. And just checking, my first visit, is the tide suitable for entry currently?
Yes, I can confirm that the tide is fine. We are at 3 metres depth 4 metres depth at the moment, so it'll be clear for you to come with.
Copy, thank you. And do you have much of a current at the moment? Much current?
No, the current's absolutely fine at the moment. I shall get somebody to come out on a dory to meet you.
Copy that, thank you. And I assume come into the marina itself or onto the visitor berth outside?
No, we'll get somebody to come and meet you as you come down the actual fairway. With the dory to bring you in steamer to put you onto the port side of the actual
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks very much. And I should be there in about 10 minutes.
Thank you. We shall look out for you. Over.
Awanui NZ out. Alright, so I'll just take you off here because it's quite good to have a look at the picture. Well, you're going to see it when we go in. But there you go. So we're coming in from here. A few little rocky outcrops out here, so I'll have to get off the camera in a minute. And then we just go in through the entranceway there. This is the old quarry that they blew out and then flooded, and apparently quite a spectacular marina. So anyway, we'll put the camera on the front of the boat, and we've got the camera mounted on the side at the rear, on the starboard side as well. Should be good. There's Beaucette Marina ahead. Okay, so the marina looks very restricted in there. I haven't got the fenders out as yet. I've got the bow line and midship line ready, but I have not done anything yet with the stern line. Don't want to do that until I'm actually in the marina. I'll get the midship line on first, and that'll hold us on nicely. But I do need to get the fenders out once I get to the enclosure of the marina. Anyway, better concentrate, huh? A lot of bits of granite out here, that's for sure. Boy, oh boy. It's high tide. Almost, well, coming up to high tide, so hate to think what it's like at low tide. Okay, got a north cardinal marker up there on the left on that yellow pole. So we've got to go to the north of that, and then there's a south cardinal marker on the other side. Go to the south of that, it kind of guides you in. Coming up through 10 metres. Okay, doing 6.5 knots at 1100 RPM, so we'll just come back a little bit. Looks like a fresh wind in there, about 10 knots on the windsock. Zoom in a little bit. Down to 8 metres. People, believe it or not, come in here at night. I think they're very courageous. Not sure I'd be up for that. Meters. 4 meters. 3 meters. 5 Yeah, good. What a beautiful spot.
You like it?
Oh, I love it, mate.
First time here?
Yeah. Oh, I just came over from Herm
Oh yeah?
Island, but I just chickened out a little bit
Right.
because there's a bit of wind coming and some big tides,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
I'm just not quite used to them yet. So I thought,
it can be a bit daunting your first time here, can't it?
well, I just thought it better to come over and, you know, and I haven't been feeling that well the last couple of days, so I'm better now, but I just thought, oh no, I'm not going to run the risk, you know.
No, I don't blame you.
Okay, what have we got there? I'll just shut there. Yeah, you can go in for now. Well, what an amazing marina. Beaucette Marina in Guernsey. So pleased to have come up here. So that's the entranceway that you come through, pretty tight. And then too tight to turn in here, so basically had to spin around out there, not a lot of room, and then back into here. Got the fenders down, and then the guys on the quay side were just magic. And oh yep, that'll take a 32 amp. Wow. Okay, so building over there is the marine office, and there's a bar there. So I'm assuming I have to go up this ramp. Anyway, we'll go and see. £33 a night. Pretty good value, I reckon. You just got to check this out, eh? I love it. I love it. What a cool thing. Ha! So, it's not windy, but it's not calm. It's not raining, and it's not sunny. There's no snow, and it's not foggy. And there's no storm. So it really needs at the bottom here, other, and then something else. Love it. Love it, love it. Awanui NZ, all safely tied up.